Good evening, everybody. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here, and I'm just not just saying that because often everyone starts by saying that, don't they? But it is a great pleasure to be here and to see this particular exhibition on in our city library in Newcastle, because I think it's important. And it's also a pleasure because, of course, I've known Paul for many years. And I'd like to say I've known Paul since he was a young man. Well, younger man. So I'm not as young as I was either, mate, so I'm well aware of that. This is indeed, though, an important exhibition at this time. Voices for Truth. Voices for Truth. Truth is on the retreat, and human rights are being weaponised by those who want to deny them to anybody but their group. And that's happening in this country, it's happening in America, and it's happening across the world. And we have a wonderful tradition of human rights in this city, going back to anti-slave trade movement work and 76,000 on the town moor in 1819 to protest the Peterloo massacre. But I do wonder sometimes also if human rights are not being as respected as much in this city as they could be and have been in the past. The exhibition is a reminder that human rights are just that. They are rights that belong to all humans. And it is also a reminder of the human suffering and pain that goes on behind the statistics and the headlines. A reminder that we are talking about real humans who have the same red blood running through their veins as we do and have the same concerns over issues such as family and work as we do. These are real people. And my mother used to bring me up with the saying, "But for the grace of God." And we seem to have forgotten that saying these days, sadly. Indeed, I was remembered of the humanity behind this art exhibition only last week when I heard that the sister of one of those whose painting is out there, Lushan Al-Hattoul from Saudi Arabia, her sister Lena has just had a baby. Now Lushan, whose painting you can see out there, is one of the many, many brave, principled people who have paid a heavy price for their courage, integrity and human decency under the brutal regime in Saudi Arabia. And of course we would do well to remember that in this city, which has such close links with that brutal dictatorship in Saudi Arabia. Lushan was born on the 31st of July 1989 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and at the age of 5 years, Lushan's family moved to France for 5 years, after which they returned to Saudi Arabia. Lushan went on to study at Dar al-Uloom, from where she successfully graduated. Following that, she went to live in Canada to pursue her bachelor's in French literature, and she has continued her studies, and in 2019, at the Catholic University of Leuven, Belgium, awarded her an honorary doctorate. It was during her studies in Canada that Lushan began to be an activist through her social media. Lushan became one of the leaders in the Saudi women's rights movement. She played major roles in the movements Together We Stand to End Male Guardianship of Women, which of course still exists to this day in Saudi Arabia. If you're a woman in Saudi Arabia, you have a man who makes all the major decisions for you. And another movement, Women Demand the Overthrow of Guardianship. This work helped to share information and raise awareness online. Famously, Lushan also conducted a driving campaign where she and other advocates took pictures of themselves driving in the streets of Saudi Arabia, which was against the law. Not the taking of the pictures, but the driving. In defiance of the driving ban. As part of a working group, she established a shelter for women escaping domestic violence that not only provided a place to go, but helped them integrate back into society. For her efforts to try and build a better and more decent Saudi Arabia, Lushain has been arrested 3 times. She has been imprisoned and tortured. Lushain was studying and working in the United Arab Emirates in March 2018, and while out driving on the 13th of March 2018, she was kidnapped and flown back to Saudi Arabia in a private jet. It is also noted that Saudi security forces briefly placed her under arrest. They released her on the 15th of March 2018 and placed her on a travel ban. They arrested her again on the 15th of May 2008 and imprisoned her. Lushain was released on the 10th of February 2021. Lushain has been to prison for her activism, and while she is currently out of prison, she is having to endure a travel ban, preventing her from travelling outside Saudi Arabia, and this has been the subject of an action by Amnesty International. So there's a little bit of background on at least one of the paintings. As I say, it's one particular painting that we should pay particular notice of in this city, of all the cities in the world. Paul is an excellent artist, whether he likes it or not. Fine artist or not, he's an excellent artist. Well, you're better than me. I've got my O level, but you're better than me. And it's great to see such important and moving artwork on display in Newcastle. I hope that many, many people visit the exhibition and learn more about Paul's great work and also the courage and integrity of his subjects. Paul has steadfastly documented human rights champions for many years now and has held other exhibitions at places such as the Wallsend Memorial Hall and the Discovery Museum in Newcastle. Through his excellent artwork, he has become an important voice for the voiceless, simply for those in prison throughout the world, simply for peacefully expressing their beliefs, be it in China or Rwanda, Egypt or Saudi Arabia, or for that matter, Iran or Burma or many other places as well. Those who have seen Paul's art have been able to reflect and will be able to reflect upon the courage of those painted and the men, and I think also not just reflect on those painted, but reflect on the many people who languish in prison and camps today who stand behind the subjects of these paintings. Because what you're seeing, of course, is just a snapshot of the suffering and oppression that goes on. But with arts like Paul's, we can at least express our concern about this oppression and keep the flag flying for a freer and better and more humane world. Thank you very much.